So, all right. Well, now we're going to talk about our favorite part of the podcast. One of our favorite things, and this is from a game that we haven't featured any card.
This game doesn't even exist.
You watch your tongue. You're already on thin ice, you.
All right, Matt. Can you talk about this week's card of the week for us?
Yes, the card of the week is Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight from Star Wars CCG, the best game ever created, bar none, without question.
Dude, I'd rather play Villainous.
Yeah, the best freaking thing you've ever seen. So this game, first of all, now the reason why this card is so iconic was because it was the first card that the first persona of Luke printed that had him with such a high stat line, as well as indicated as he is a Jedi Knight. This was from a set called Death Star 2, which obviously, you know, encapsulated all the events of the Battle of Endor, and ultimately, why this card is so amazing is because, first of all, it's a 6 power, 6 ability card, which is like bonkers high. Most cards are in the 2 to 3 on each side range, so it's huge. The game text makes him just a powerhouse when he's got a lightsaber. He's just but again, it feeds to the fact that he has become a Jedi. He confronts his father. He defeats the Emperor. He is a Jedi Knight. That's who he is. The important part about why this card is bananas is one of the ways that the game balanced cards was at the top right of the card is what's called the destiny number. It is the RNG element of the game. The numbers range from 0 to 7. Very few cards printed were 7s. The ones that were typically very useless, but 6s there was a bunch of them, and people would put very low playable 6s in their deck because some of the game mechanics required you to, quote, draw destiny, whether you're like increasing your power, firing a weapon, trying to accomplish something, you would draw destiny. And the destiny number typically had to be greater than something else. A 6 was like a sure thing every time. So most of the strong characters, like earlier renditions of Luke, Obi-Wan, whatever, they were all 1s. Vader was a 1. Luke was a 1. Leia was a 1. So that was how they balanced it. It's like, you want to load up your deck with powerful people, your destiny draws are going to be garbage.
Yeah.
This was the first character that came out that had a tank stat line with a 6 as the destiny. There was no downside to this card. And Star Wars CCG had no deck building restrictions. So do you want to jam like 10 of them? And you got the cash? Freaking go, baby. Now, that is not...
What?
Damn right. You damn right. Now, most decks never ran more than like 1 or 2 because it didn't make sense to run more based on the rules of the game, etc. Because you could only have 1 on the board at a time, and the other ones were useless. But there was literally no downside to playing multiple copies because you weren't polluting your deck with low destiny numbers. And that's why this card, and it had a dark side counterpart in that set. The Emperor was the first time the Emperor was ever printed, and that mofo came out with a 6 destiny number 2. So they were the two iconic. The reason why I took Luke was because whenever I played with my buddy Jed that I talked about, we split a collection. I took all the light side cards and he took all the dark side cards, and we'd do battle. So I chose Luke because I played Luke. I finally got a hold of a Luke. I bought my first Luke. I don't know where the other one went in my previous collection, but I slammed down a solid 3 bills for that mofo just to complete my Star Wars CCG collection. And he's living so beautifully on that shelf right there, in a binder, in a sleeve, in a this, in a that. And yeah, that is the iconic card that I want to share with you guys.
Awesome.
That is awesome. And this is why we started the card of the week.
I didn't even know that card was that expensive.
Well, what's it worth now? What's it worth now?
I could, if I pulled some strings, I could probably get one near mint condition for about $250 US, maybe closer to 300. But I would have to like ask a friend of a friend of a friend who has heard the podcast and is like, you know, wants to do me a solid.
Right. Understood. Yeah, so ever since like starting our channel and starting doing all of our content, I've heard plenty talk about this game. Never played it. Wasn't really doing, playing any sort of card games when this was around. Heard so many things about it. I love hearing stories like that. Like last week we heard an amazing story, right? But Flake, thank you. Like this is exactly why we started the card of the week. And this is never going away. I love this. This is awesome.
I didn't want to come in. I didn't want to come in empty-handed, boys. I really wanted to show up with the goods, and I wasn't gonna just. Oh, this is Dr. Boom and.
I love Dr. Boom.
like that was on the radar for me, but I was like, everybody's. I don't know. I'm gonna see. Leroy Jenkins and Sylvanas and whatnot. Sylvanas was my all-time favorite Hearthstone card. I actually have a pop final of her somewhere back there. But but yeah, no, when it comes down to it, baby, that Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight is the centerpiece of my collection. It is a beautiful, beautiful card, and it brings back so many memories.
That is awesome. Well, Matt, thank you so much for that. That was awesome. I love hearing stories like that.